Hey, what's going on, guys? We are back. We're about ready to do the... Hey, what's going on, guys? We're back. It's James with Heel Toad. We are going to be putting in the wideband today. So I got this, the Prosport Premium Evo digital wideband. So it comes with the sensor, the gauge, all the harnesses, and a controller. So I'm going to be trying to get that in, get everything run into the cabin and wired up today. My goal is to try and get it wired up tonight so that I can get the car back on the road, get some data logs to the tuner. So what we may do is just start wiring everything up, get it run good enough for now, kind of tucked away, but maybe not perfect. And then I'll go back maybe in a day or two when I've got a little more time and just get it all dialed in as far as routing the lines, getting them zip tied up to other electrical lines, things like that. So I want to get in. We'll get in on that. We've got the plug down there in the Cobb downpipe. I've soaked it with PB Blaster, so hopefully that'll pop out really easy. And then, like I said, this has got everything in here. So we have the Bosch filter, or the Bosch sensor, not a filter. And then we've got the gauge, a couple different sets of wires, and then hopefully in there somewhere as well instructions on what wires go to what things. And then once everything is run in there, we'll get the car jacked up in the air, start wiring it up to the rear O2 sensor so that it'll actually log onto the Cobb access port for the tuner. And while I'm at it, since I'm going to have the car up in the air anyways, I'm going to go ahead and do an oil change. Got some Rotella at the store today, so we'll go ahead and do an oil change as well. So let's jump in there and get started. What's up, guys? You can probably see the car behind me. I had to jump out of the garage so you could hear me. So we finally got the wideband finished up, it's bolted in, wired up, it's reading on the access port, just letting it idle, warm up, see how the fuel trims are doing, all of that good stuff. Let me walk you over and we will take a look at the car. It does smell like it's running a little rich. The AF Learning 1 was super high, but jumping back onto the engine, I realized the little piece that runs from the fuel pressure regulator to the manifold had popped loose right down here. This piece right here was off. So I plugged that back in and the idle settled down a little bit, and it does seem like it is running much better now. And the AFRs just keep dropping consistently, and all it's been doing is sitting here idling. So hopefully that's what it was. I'll get a little clamp and put that on there. So you can see this is kind of where I'm thinking of putting the gauge for now. I ultimately want to get the oil pressure kit, put it over here, put the AFR here, and the bezel that has the 2 gauge pods, which is why I bought the 52 mil gauge for the wideband in the first place. So I'm going to let it continue to idle, kind of do its thing. I may turn it off here in a minute and put a clamp on that, reset the learning, and see what it does, see if it zeroes itself out. Other than that, we're all set. I have the base map from Eric over at Torqued Performance loaded in right now. It's base map for the 93. So we'll get the 93 dialed in with Eric. Eric tuned my last car, the WRX, and he did a fantastic job. It was stage 2 intake, downpipe exhaust, all of that, and then tuned by Eric, and it would pull away from stage 2 STIs. So I mean, his maps were great. I never had an issue with it. Plenty of power, great power curve, and then more importantly, no catastrophic issues, no big knock issues, none of that. So I am super excited. Got this thing locked and loaded, ready to go. We'll get it tuned on 93, then we'll get it tuned on E85. I think I'll make probably a video after this of just cruising around once I'm sure that AF learning is coming down and the AFRs look good on it, so we can get some maps over to Eric, get the 93 taken care of, so that we can get down into the E85, which is really what the whole point of all these mods were, was to roll over into some E85. All right, so we're done. That's it for doing the wideband today. Let it continue to idle, and then I'm gonna go take it for a rip later. Thanks for watching, guys. Stick around for the next episode where we go into getting the tune for the 93 done and moving on to E85.